Hi everyone and welcome. Today we've got Louisa back today, who is a trustee in bankruptcy. Hi Louisa.
Hello Amanda, glad to be chatting.
So glad to have you. And today we're going to be discussing the future with regards to financials for lawyers. I was talking to a lawyer this morning and he was saying that he was feeling in a bit of a holding pattern. And I thought it'd be really great to get you online so that we could actually maybe give lawyers a little bit of a helping hand as to what they can do next for the future. Because obviously there's still that uncertainty, right?
Yes. So how I might approach this is to maybe take like a 30,000 foot view, a very high level view of where law firms and all sorts of businesses might like to try and end up in order to set themselves up for the future. Because from there, people can work out how they might like to get to that sort of position as it applies to their own business. So a few things. I'm a very strong advocate of keeping debt levels in a business as low as possible. They don't have to be zero because there is benefit to leverage and using debt in a business. However, every time you take on debt, you have to be aware that you are the tail and the bank or the financier is the head of the creature, or that's how I think about it in my head. Yeah. And the head does wag the tail does not wag the head. And it doesn't matter how large you are. We've seen in recent times, Virgin Airlines, they had too much debt. So it doesn't matter how big you are, what business you do, you have to keep your debt under control. My personal view is the less the better, because if the tide ever goes out on your business, whatever that looks like, one-off global pandemics, anything like that, or just regular economic cycles or downturns in business, competitors opening up across the road, key partners of a law firm leaving, that you are keeping that risk level as low as possible. Yes. So I would highly recommend keeping debt as low as possible. I know there's lots of different theories and lots of different schools of thought, but that's my personal recommendation, especially since you can only end up in liquidation or bankruptcy if you have debt.
Yeah, and it's the last thing you want to do, right?
Exactly. Definitely don't want to go there. Yeah. I also recommend a very strong and tight WIP management. So this is your work in progress as well as your debtors, actually. So your lockup days. So it's not very fun or fancy to sit down and work out these numbers or have your accountant or financial controller or finance person work this out. But it's actually quite important because you've done the work. You need to get paid for the work you've already done. And this ties in very closely with cash flow, because you can't take WIP to a supermarket. Coles, Woolies and Aldi do not accept WIP. They only take cash, which means we need to be turning our WIP and our debtors into cash and get those lockup days as low as possible.
That's great.
Yeah. The other couple of things I'll say is cost base. Everybody through 2020 and 2021 has had a very large focus on costs, just because if revenues happen to be down in a particular part of your business or your business overall, costs are one of the first things we look at. What I would recommend doing is getting that cost base, so the ongoing recurring costs, as low as possible, because that sets you up for maximum flexibility when opportunities arise. Because we're in this day and age where if we're brainstorming around the future of law, I don't think it's possible anymore to have a 10-year plan for the business and know in detail what that 10th year is going to look like. Because technology, the marketplace, all these things are shifting so quickly. What I encourage is for businesses to be set up to take advantage of the opportunities as they arise, whatever those opportunities might be. So in keeping that regular recurring cost base low, you give yourself more flexibility to take advantage of these opportunities and have that available cash flow. The key point that I haven't touched on is revenue and what people are doing to grow that, whether it's diversify it. Now, I don't propose to know more about lawyers about growing law firm revenue, so that I will leave to your clients and to others who are experts in that area, but I just wanted to mention that because it's the other key, one of the other key levers in this discussion.
Well, that's fantastic advice. And I think adaptability there, because things are so uncertain. I think that's possibly, one of the key words, apart from obviously cash flow, the all important cash flow. Who would have thought that one? If it's sound advice.
cash flow always has been, always will be. Cash is king. It's just a fact of the life we live in. So absolutely, you picked the key word out of all of them, Amanda.
Yeah, it's about actually doing it though, right? I mean, the amount of lawyers I talk to, and they just have this stack of WIP, and I'm just like, wow, why are you not billing more regularly? It's just, anyway, that's fantastic advice, and thank you for today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. Bye.